Dear Mr. Kargmann, dear participants of today's H2 Forum, investments in our future are crucial to enable economic growth and additional revenue in the future to be able to achieve our climate goals. Hydrogen is such an investment. The Federal Ministry of Education and Research is providing 750 million euros in funding for our 4-year flagship projects to bring electrolyzers into serious production, to make offshore production ready for the market, and to improve all existing transportation options. In addition, with basic hydrogen research and funding of around 105 million euros, it is driving forward the technologies of tomorrow and beyond. We are building a 10,000-kilometer hydrogen network, and we want to do this in less than 10 years. We are building a domestic electrolysis capacity of at least 10 gigawatts till 2030. To this end, we are building gigafactories for electrolyzers with European funding. And we are preparing large-scale imports with international hydrogen partnerships. For this, we are laying the foundations with our hydrogen import strategy and numerous projects to establish and test supply chains. We also use the H2 global mechanism to buy hydrogen as cheaply as possible outside Europe and then sell it to the highest bidder in Europe. That will incentivize hydrogen imports and ensure the domestic supply. We have set out all these measures in the National Hydrogen Strategy. Even the budget cuts have not changed this plan. This is a confirmation for startups in the hydrogen sector. Investments in hydrogen are lucrative. Investments in hydrogen are worthwhile. And investments in hydrogen is what Germany needs right now. Because the hydrogen sector is currently creating a completely new market. Germany is determined to play an active role in shaping this market. We want to become the leading provider of hydrogen technologies. We want to be the market leader in as many areas as possible. We want to become a hydrogen republic. Research and development are a necessary foundation for all our goals. Because, at the moment, only a few hydrogen technologies are ready for serious production for the quantities we are aiming for. To solve this and achieve our goals, we need research, courage, ingenuity, inventiveness, and a high level of engineering skill. I am absolutely convinced that these qualities characterize the German research and industry, and above all, our startups. We have what it takes to be successful, thanks to innovators like you. Catalyzing change is the title of this session. It's obvious that the catalysis of the hydrogen transition is in full swing. Keeping the global market in mind, where can we achieve the biggest progress? When we look at the mass production of simple technologies, Germany cannot compete with low-wage countries. But our strength lies in highly specialized and highly innovative technologies. We have the research infrastructure and the expertise to skilled engineers and scientists. The Federal Ministry of Education and Research supports and enables this. In our funding projects, we bring together institutions and industry. We support you in bridging the gap between laboratory and application. We ensure the continued education of young people. Moreover, we build partnerships with countries around the world for this purpose. Let me take this opportunity to mention just a few examples of startups that will actively shape Germany's hydrogen economy in the coming years. The startup Hydrogenius, a spin-off from Friedrich Alexander University Erlangen, is in the progress of adding another efficient option in our hydrogen lead project TransHyd by using LOHT to transport hydrogen. LOHT is liquid organic hydrogen carriers. WEW GmbH, this is a German limited, is bringing the production of electrolyzers to the assembly line in our hydrogen lead project H2 Giga. A model factory will open as early as next year. Finally, the startup Sunfire is currently scaling up the simultaneous electrolysis of water and CO2 to synthesis gas in our Copernicus project P2X. As I said, these are just 3 of many examples of success. But that's not all. When a completely new market emerges, there is also a need for innovative new business models, monitoring systems, software tools, and much more. So a whole ecosystem of innovations is needed. Whoever is the first to have a technology has an excellent chance of establishing themselves as a market leader. This is why the German government is currently strongly committed to fast and efficient certification and approval procedures. Because here too, speed advantages always go hand in hand with competitive advantages. I am proud that we at the Federal Ministry of Education and Research are not only working hard to ramp up the green hydrogen economy, but are also keeping the door open for low-carbon hydrogen, especially in the ramp-up phase. For example, blue hydrogen, the production of hydrogen from natural gas combined with CCS technology, we make sure industry will get the vast amount of climate-friendly hydrogen it requires and can switch to hydrogen-based production as quick as possible. In the update of the National Hydrogen Strategy, we are also able to make sure that all sectors, industry, electricity, heat and mobility, will have equal access to hydrogen. The market will decide where it will be used efficiently in the large quantities first. This gives us equal opportunities for hydrogen innovations like yours. We have ensured that the forces of the market can unfold. Therefore, we also need regulation that enables the ramp-up of the hydrogen economy and does not hinder it. This is particularly true when it comes to climate issues. This results in an ideal breeding ground for startups. They can act faster than large companies, they can react more quickly to market movements, and they often have the know-how to fill the gaps that still exist in the market. I'm convinced founding startups is the most direct way to strengthen the transfer from excellent research to products. I already mentioned the ambitious goal of 10 gigawatts of domestic production capacity for green hydrogen. Still, most of the hydrogen we need in the future will be produced abroad. We assume that we will have to import around 2/3 of our requirements in 2030 alone, and probably even more after 2030. This will also create opportunities for competitive advantages in the future. Developing solutions today that will enable us to meet different local requirements outside of Europe will give us a hard start tomorrow when it comes to forming import partnerships. For example, sand and heat-resistant components, seawater electrolysis, and specific infrastructure solutions. Early knowledge of local conditions, adaptation requirements, and objectives also leads to business areas and innovation advantages. As you can see, the opportunities for startups in the hydrogen sector are excellent. In all areas of the economy, at home and abroad, and along the entire hydrogen value chain. I'm most excited about your ideas and business models with which you can want to, perhaps will contribute to Germany's hydrogen republic. Thank you for your attendance.
Very much. Thank you very much for your keynote. We got already 2 questions, and please be reminded, dear audience, if you have some questions to ask, just put them in the tool. And I can't see them here, but I read them out. One is, what are some notable examples of startups or research initiatives that have made significant contributions to advancing hydrogen-related technologies? I think some you have mentioned.
Yeah, there are a lot of companies coming up to me right now in these months and giving their ideas of what they are developing. There's a lot to do. Of course, there are different fields of what we need. Yeah? One thing is, of course, new technologies, for example, for electrolyzers. We have some, to see what we need. We know what the economy in 20, 30 years could look like because we know the basic technologies, but we don't know exactly how it works. Mm-hmm. And the main problem is scaling up. So a lot of companies have small things and they show me how it works, and I say, it's very interesting, it sounds great. For example, working with seawater or wastewater. Yeah? This is the challenges we have in the future, especially in developing countries, where we hope to get some hydrogen in the future from. So there are a lot of ideas. The problem is how to get these ideas to the market, in a real higher scale, and this in Germany in a very short time, because the aim of being climate neutral in 2045, it sounds like a lot of time. It's not. In a country where we need about 20 years to build an airport.
Yeah,
it's a goal. It's really a goal to be climate neutral within 20 or 30 years.
I agree. As the president of the EU Commission, Ms. von der Leyen, said, like Europe, not maybe also Germany, is very good at making science out of money, but not very good at making money out of science. So it isn't a question here, but what is the solution of the ministry to support more transfer, more enabling young scientists to bring their idea to an economic use?
Yeah, I'm commissioner in the Federal Ministry of Education and Research, but this is an intersection question. It also relates to economy, so to BMWK, and to if we want to import a lot of hydrogen, so it's also a question of Auswärtiges Amt, of the Foreign Office, and so on. So what can we do in the BMBF specially? Of course, I think what we need is, inside the German universities, we have very good universities, but we need more better ideas, how to put the ideas from the students and the professors into business models, and how to finance this. It's also a problem in Germany, is the first stage financing of small companies. We know that, and this also is something which is in the Federal Ministry of Finance. And Christian Lindner, the federal minister, he exactly knows that we have a problem at this place, and he takes care of this also. I think those are the questions we have to answer now.
I see. So the next question on the screen is also not only targeting your ministry, it is electrolyzer industries in infancy, and compared to solar and automotive industries, and cost efficiencies need to be leveraged. How can government incentives support SMEs to leverage innovation potential in a market with return only long term?
Yeah, finally, of course, we have a lot of discussions right now about the German budget, about the investment part of the budget. But to be honest, it's a huge amount of money needed to get this transformation. And 90% of this or more needs to be private money. It's not money from the state. The country cannot replace economics, but it can trigger it somehow. So, of course, it's the task for especially BMBF to support innovative young companies by giving them some foundations. And we have a huge programs for funding these ideas and making academic to economy.
I see. So next one is, you speak about putting measures in place to have serial production of electrolyzers, but what exactly is there? How do OEMs gain access to the funds? In North America, it is clearer how to get the money. How is Germany counteracting this?
Yeah, this is not only a question of Germany, because the domestic market is an European market, and the European Union has a big role to play in this field. I'm honest to say, I'm a bit concerned about that, because we saw the Inflation Reduction Act in the US, which is very effective, seems to be very effective. We don't know exactly how it works finally, but I think the idea is charming. But we cannot copy this one-to-one for the 27 European partner countries, because the EU had a lot of development to bring countries out of supporting their own economy. Yeah, this competition thing, it's different in the US, so we can't copy it one-to-one. But maybe we take some of this more pragmatic approach to our own system, and I hope that Europe will learn from that. But this is a lesson to be learned in Brussels, not so much in Berlin.
That might be right, but I assume that especially the idea of tax reductions is quite popular among your ministry. But let's get to another question. Did the BMBF secure sufficient long-term funding to continue the 3 H2 Lighthouse projects, or will they end next year?
So it's difficult to speak about that, because we had a lot of trouble with the budget of 2024, and we are discussing about the budget beginning right now. But I hope, of course, that finally the money for this flagship projects will be there also to continue with this work, because I think it was really successful. The question is the perspective of our budget is triggered by the constitutional law in Karlsruhe, constitutional court in Karlsruhe, which said how to make the budget the problem is we have another competitive court decision 2 years ago about climate neutrality. This is also an aim. So I think that everything which helps to get climate neutral should be prioritized right now. And this is also something the constitutional law gave us on our way. So I hope that I can be successful with this argument in the budget negotiations this and next year.
Okay, so we are waiting for good news. You said all industries should have equal access to hydrogen. Where do you see the energy industry or heating business with regards to hydrogen?
Yeah, we had a huge discussion in this for the national hydrogen strategy, because we had some who said we should have a priority to prioritize some sectors against others. I don't think this is the right way. And finally, the hydrogen strategy is more open. I think this should be really decided by the market. But of course, the first thing politics has to do is to make it possible to get this hydrogen in place. That means we need the national hydrogen grid, about those 10,000 kilometers we are planning to, most of this, or roughly half and half, new build and taken from the old gas nets. But finally, I don't think that politics should say who has the possibility to use the hydrogen finally. Okay. It's a question of market.
Yeah, I see. Okay. So next is, what is Germany doing to attract more H2 startups compared to other countries? Where are the public funding opportunities for startups?
Yes, I think Germany is a quite attractive country for doing business at all. We know we are in a global competition. It's not easy. And especially I can see in the US, in the moment, they are in advance. There are better conditions right now. But I think finally, a lot of innovations come from academia, from the universities, and they are in Germany, and the young people are here at the place. And of course, I hope that a lot of those young people want to fund new companies in the next years in this very interesting field. Because we have a bit of a problem in the ramp-up of the market, because, say, the risks are so high. Finally, I'm really convinced the whole transition in Germany, in Europe, and globally will not work without hydrogen. It will not work without hydrogen. So we need it. So I think everybody who is funding an H2 company finally is in a very interesting field. Of course, we have competition, and the technology needs to work. Yeah? Nobody knows exactly. There are a lot of risks. But finally, it's a good idea for the country, for the politics, to invest in those companies, also if they fail. Because the young people working in these companies and learning how to work with hydrogen, they will find another company finally. This is another problem we have. This is capacity building. We need a lot of young people interested in natural science, interested in technology, engineering, and things like that. And so I think this is the main problem we have.
I think I want to add to that, or ask an additional question. When you say it's important when you deal with startups also to accept that failure might be an option, do you think that, like, especially public funding schemes or investment schemes are fit to deal with this challenge? Because normally the impression is the risk should be very low, especially when public money is funded. What do you think about that?
I think this is a problem we have. Politics is not. It's not the job of politics to do risky economy. It's our job to build a framework, making this kind of investments possible and easy. It's a question of tax system. It's a bit also a question of economical culture. In Germany, we know we have a bit of a problem at this point.
I see.
Yeah?
And it's a problem of culture, and we should overcome that. Thank you very much for your keynote and for answering all the questions, and have a big applause from the audience.